Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here at the National Weather Service in Pocatello with another edition of your weather hazard briefing for Southeast Idaho. Meteorologically speaking, like we said yesterday, very active week continues across the region. There's an awful lot of low pressure action going on here across the northern Rockies here over the next 5 to 7 days. But just like we said yesterday, the pattern really isn't going to be that impactful for most of you across our forecast area. We'll continue to see some kind of niche specialized concerns for certain people. I'll talk about those on this slide. But as far as major disruptions to travel, threats to life and property, damage, anything like that, really not expecting anything reaching that level here over the next 5 days or so. We modified this slide here from yesterday, so this will sound very similar if you watch our briefings every morning. Some of those kind of specialized concerns we're watching for some of you. First, cold morning temperatures. We're expecting below freezing temperatures again this morning. We'll see that again Thursday morning. We'll start to see a slight warming trend as we head toward the weekend, but I'll show you graphics in just a moment. At least portions of the upper Snake Plain may hold on to some continued frost and freeze concerns beyond Thursday morning. We'll show that. So for anyone who does have sensitive vegetation, early season gardens that have been planted, do consider whether or not you want to protect your plants here for several more mornings with those colder temperatures. It'll be a bit breezy again today as well. Not as breezy as the past 2 days. We're expecting less in the way of wind today, but I think a few wind gusts may still exceed 45 miles an hour, particularly down across the Raft River region, and that'll include areas near Malta and Idaho. Might be a concern to some of the higher profile vehicles, semi-trailers and such along Interstate 84. So particularly down across that area, if you do drive a high profile vehicle or if you have some outdoor objects you want to secure here for another moderately windy day, do keep that in mind. On the showers side of things, this hazard or threat or inconvenience maybe is the best way to describe it, is going to increase compared to yesterday. We're going to see rain showers, snow showers, a few thunderstorms across the region today and tomorrow, and a little bit beyond, depending on where you are. Best coverage during the afternoon periods with daytime heating. So if a shower or storm will cause some issues for your plans, do keep that in mind. That threat will be with us here over the next several days. And finally, snow. Temperatures have been pretty cold. We're going to see our coldest day of the week today as far as high temperatures are concerned, and don't be surprised to see some snowflakes just about anywhere across southeast Idaho. But as we said yesterday, accumulations, actual ground accumulations, dusting to 3 inches or so, really going to be confined to the higher elevations, particularly above 6,000 feet and especially in the backcountry. Can't rule out a limited, brief traffic slowdown, travel impact on a highway or two here over the next few days, particularly again in our mountain areas. But on the grand scheme of things, just not expecting temperatures to really support a lot in the way of accumulations down on the roadways. So just bear this in mind if you are planning work or recreation in the backcountry or our mountain areas. Weather risk outlook here for the next 5 days, and as always, our locations, our general regions are over here on the left. Those are the rows, and then each column is a day going over the next 5 days: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Kind of showing you what we're expecting here, and it's a broken record. It's messy. We're sorry. It is what it is. Lots of rain showers. There's snow showers here. There's breezy conditions here. There's a few thunderstorms hit and miss here. There's those freezing temperatures during the morning in our main agricultural corridor here, the Snake Plain, Eastern Magic Valley. And you can see here, we're not expecting a big pattern change even as we get out toward the weekend. A few things I'll highlight. First, I think, again, this morning and tomorrow morning, best chance for those freezing temperatures, but maybe into Friday morning for some of you. Some plant concerns there, maybe into Saturday morning, at least for the upper Snake as well. We're starting to see the forecast inch just a little bit colder, particularly if we can clear the clouds out. So do bear that in mind. If you're looking for better periods of dry weather, I think your best chance is going to be on Friday if you're across the Eastern Magic Valley, maybe into the South Hills, Wood River Valley. We may start to clear some of the shower activity out from the west on Friday afternoon. And then Saturday really isn't looking like a bad day as far as shower activity over most of the day until we get to the evening. Our next system will be coming in and we'll see some at least evening shower activity coming into just about every zone here on our chart. And that'll continue into Sunday with a better chance of breezy conditions, rain, thunderstorms, maybe some snow across the entire region, again, increasing as we head into next Sunday. Watches, warnings, advisories here this morning. Not much going on all the way out to Boise, all the way up to Bozeman. If you're traveling down to Salt Lake City, really, it's temperature-based. We've got that freeze warning in effect until 9 a.m. this morning for portions of the Eastern Magic Valley and the Snake Plain. Again, watch for potential additional alerts here over the next morning or two. Of course, we have our flood warnings that continue along the Portneuf River from Chesterfield Reservoir down toward Lava Hot Springs into Inkom and then through the Pocatello area. Still our only river that is actually in flood stage at this time. We'll look at a couple hydrographs here in a minute. But in general, travel looking pretty good and overall impacts not terribly widespread across the region. Current satellite loop, we were nervous a little bit this morning. We had a lot of cloud cover. It was really holding the temperatures warmer. The clouds were acting like a blanket. And we were wondering if we were going to verify on some of these cold temperatures. But looking up now, we are at 28 degrees here at the Pocatello Airport. And you can see here on the satellite loop that we are clearing those clouds out of the Snake Plain quite nicely. So looks like we will see those frost and freeze conditions for those of you with plant concerns. Radar still showing a few snow showers as well. We've seen this in the east. We've seen this up in the northeast, Island Park region. We're seeing some of that down here toward Preston. Last check of the webcams, I know Immigration Summit was seeing some light snow. So just be aware of that this morning. There may be a slick spot or two, but in general, travel impact should be pretty limited. Here's a look at those low temperatures this morning. We're already actually a couple degrees colder than this here, again, at the Pocatello Airport. We actually increased these temperatures just a degree or two with the amount of cloud cover that was out there, but looks like we've cleared that out quite effectively. High temperatures as we head into this afternoon, colder than what we've seen the last couple days. You can see readings here generally 40 to 50 degrees. So it's not really going to feel that spring-like for those of you who do venture out in between the showers here this afternoon. And certainly places like Stanley, Island Park, Driggs, some of the outlying areas barely reaching 40 or 41 degrees, even at the peak of the afternoon here. This colder air mass in place. Show winds here again for this afternoon and evening. I think this is our last regionally breezy day here for a couple days until we get into the weekend system. Over here on the left, sustained wind values across the region are shown. You can see the strongest values coming in across the Eastern Magic Valley, Cassia County, the Raft River region, where sustained winds out of the west may be on the order of about 20, 25 miles an hour. And then over here on the right, we show wind gusts, and you can see anywhere in the yellow, we're at least 30 mile an hour gusts. And there may be some areas here in the Raft River region, including along I-84, like I mentioned, where we're gusting 40, 45 miles an hour out of the west. That will be a bit of a crosswind on some of the highways down there, including the interstate, so bear that in mind for high-profile vehicles. Severe weather outlook today, nothing severe expected, but anywhere shaded in green is your best chance of seeing a few isolated thunderstorms mixing into that rain and snow shower activity. Can't really rule it out anywhere, but particularly from Burley and Pocatello and Soda Springs northward is where we're expecting the best chance of a few storms today. And then we'll back off to mostly just shower activity for a couple days after this. Not so much a thunderstorm risk. Thursday, low temperatures during the morning here shown on the left, high temperatures during the afternoon shown on the right. We start to increase things just a bit, but you can see still frost and freeze concerns widespread here Thursday morning, but we're rebounding at least into the 50s for a lot of our lower elevation population centers by Thursday afternoon. Stepping ahead to Friday, still making progress. We're warming up those morning low temperatures just a little bit. It's going to be close. You can see our official forecast here still dropping just below freezing across the upper half of the Snake Plain and some of the outlying areas here, although maybe not so much from Pocatello westward to Burley and Twin Falls. Again, we'll watch this day by day and continue to issue freeze warnings or frost advisories as needed. We continue to gain a few degrees here on the right for afternoon high temperatures. By Saturday, here's our best shot. Again, I told you most of the day might be dry ahead of that next system before we bring in that shower activity during the evening. And a nice southerly flow is going to really allow those temperatures to warm up quite a bit. Over here on the left, still a little chilly in the morning. We'll continue to watch for frost freeze concerns, particularly up north. But over here on the right, temperatures surging 10 plus degrees warmer into the 60s for most of you and some low 70s across the Eastern Magic Valley, Shoshone, Twin Falls, Burley, Raft River region here, as far east as Pocatello and Blackfoot. So it will feel much more like spring, at least briefly, for Saturday before that next system comes in and continues our active weather pattern. We'll continue to show you a snow graphic here, and basically the graphic I'm showing you each morning in our briefing is the next 72 hours. So this fresh image here is today into Thursday into Friday, actually all the way through 6 a.m. Saturday morning. And this is really just to show you we're not expecting much. Anywhere where you see some blue shading, those are your best chance areas at seeing something light maybe sticking to the ground, at least for brief periods. And then as you get up into the mountain areas, you may be able to pull off an inch or more here for Stanley and Galena Summit, also over toward Driggs and Pine Creek Pass, etc. But again, long duration issues on the roads, not expected with our marginal temperatures and the fairly light nature of the precipitation we're expecting over the next few days. Finally, we'll wrap up with rivers. No big changes here. This is the Portneuf River out toward Lava Hot Springs at the Topaz gauge. As always, the blue line is what the river has done over the past few days, and then the dotted line is what the river is forecast to do over the next several days. You can see a fairly steady trend here, maybe a little bit of decrease as we head toward the weekend, maybe a slight nudge upward again as we head into early next week, but all of it just above minor flood stage. So continue to watch for some flooding in low areas along the river. Heading downriver into the Pocatello area, basically from Ingham down through the city of Pocatello. You can see the river has been in moderate flood stage. Right now, it's the highest we think it's going to get. So the impacts you're seeing right now, there's a lot of water on the trails down towards Sacagawea Park and the surrounding area. There's some flooding going on down there. We also know there's some flooding down in Ingham and the Black Rock areas in low-lying fields and agriculture. Probably not going to see that get any worse is the good news here over the next few days as the river tries to head back down into minor flood stage, although it may kind of level off or increase just a little bit again early next week. So this is going to be with us for quite some time, certainly throughout the month of May, continuing to melt off significant high elevation mountain snowpack that is going to continue to bring some flood concerns here along the Portneuf. We're watching the other rivers. We still haven't seen major issues on them. That's been good news here so far this flood season, but certainly some of them are running fast and high. This is the Snake River near Heisey. You can see the river right now is in yellow. That's our action or near bank full stage, but it is below the orange. Orange would be actually in flooding, minor flood stage. Expecting that to remain fairly steady here as we go over the next 7 days or so, but very cold water. Again, it's originating from snowmelt. The water's moving quite fast. There may be debris in it. Really good idea to just stay away from our creeks, our rivers, our waterways during this time of year. Very hazardous for anyone who may get too close and fall in. Particularly keep an eye on pets and children around the waterways as well. And that's your hazard briefing for this morning. As always, reach out if you have questions, comments, or concerns. We are here 24/7. And everyone have a great Wednesday.